Namaskar friends, welcome to this session 7 on our course on the processing of polymers and polymer composites. If you remember, in the last session we have discussed the process of extrusion and we have seen that what is the basic principle of extrusion. Also we have seen with the help of a video that how the process operates. Today our topic is extrusion only, but we will be discussing the various types of extrusion process, because extrusion is used widely in industry for making different types of products. Now depending upon the type or the application of the product that we want to make using extrusion process, there are variants of the extrusion process that have been developed in industry and are being used widely. And we have seen number of products. We see plastic sheets, thin plastic sheets with different colors. On the top we have a different color, on the base we have a different color. So how those plastic sheets are made, that we are going to see. Extrusion process is used for making those sheets, but what is the specific name of that process, that we are going to understand today. So the topic is long, so we will quickly go through the various processes, whereas there is a process which is slightly typical to understand with the help of a diagram. So we have included a video for that process, so that you are able to relate to the process, you are able to see that how the raw material is coming and how it is getting converted into the final product. So the process remains same, it is heating of the plastic, then deforming it through the die, and then finally cooling it in the form of a roll or in the form of a sheet or the layers of sheet. So we will see that what are the various types of extrusion processes in today's session. So let us quickly start our discussion with the first process that we want to cover today, that is sheet film extrusion. But before going to sheet film extrusion, let us see that how we can classify the extrusion processes. On your screen you can see the extrusion process is broadly classified into 7 different types, and these are 7 that we have collected. There may be other variants of extrusion also which may not be covered during this session. So 7 types of variants we have highlighted here. First one is the sheet film extrusion, blown film extrusion, over jacketing extrusion, tubing extrusion, co-extrusion, extrusion coating, and compound extrusion. So the basic principle will remain same as we have seen in the last class, that we are going to melt the plastic and then we are going to force the plastic or the molten plastic through the die, and then finally the product that is coming out of the die will be cooled either using air cooling or a water cooling apparatus or a water cooling arrangement. So we will see one by one with the try to understand with the help of a diagram that what is the basic working principle of each one of this process. So let us start with the sheet film extrusion. On your screen you can see there is a complete setup of the sheet film extrusion process. You can see the molten plastic is extruded through a flat die. As I have told in the previous session, if you remember, the very first slide in the previous session was giving the different profiles of the products that can be made by the extrusion process, and we have seen circular profiles, we have seen honeycomb type of profiles, we have seen square profiles, we have seen rectangular profiles, we have seen solid profiles. So we can get different types of cross sectional profiles using the extrusion process, but this particular process, that is specifically sheet film extrusion process, is used for making sheets, that is the films. Film is slightly, maybe the thickness is less as compared to a sheet. So sheet and film type of products can be made using the extrusion, and the specific process is called as the sheet film extrusion. How this is achieved, you can very easily relate now, that the die is going to give shape to the product. So the die in this case will be a flat die, and the opening of the die will represent the thickness of the sheet or the film that we want to extrude. So on your screen you can see the raw material is coming from this side and then it is moving through the die, and finally it is getting collected in the form of a roll here. So this is a final product being collected here, and the raw material starts from this side, passes through the die, and then it is collected here. So this is the simple example of sheet film extrusion. The only change from the basic extrusion process is in the shape of the die. The die in this case will be a flat die, and therefore we will get a sheet type of product. The thickness of the sheet that can be obtained is in the range of 0.2 to 15 millimeter. So maybe we can get fairly thick sheet, that is 15 millimeter. The thin flat sheet or film of plastic material can be made, that I have already explained. Generally the polystyrene plastic is used as a raw material in the sheet extrusion process. So the specific type of raw material that is used, that is specific to sheet film extrusion process, is polystyrene. Coming to the next form of extrusion process, that is blown film extrusion. Here you can see, this is a simple diagram of blown film extrusion. There is a air inlet, pressurized air, which will force the plastic against the mold wall. The bubble will be created. It will pass through the die. On your screen you can see, this is the die. Die is written here. So this is the die, this is the air, and compressed air is coming from both sides. So the plastic, molten plastic, is somewhere here. So it is blown through the die, and then it forms a bubble. The bubble, this is a bubble that is formed, this is the mold. So through the die you will force the plastic out, and then centrally we will inject the pressurized air, and this air will force the plastic to form a bubble, and this bubble will move up, and there will be a collapsing plate on top. You can see these are the collapsing plates, and these collapsing plates will collapse this bubble. The bubble is coming like this, and the collapse, when as soon as the bubble hits the collapsing plates, it will then again be moving as a film, and the nip rolls are there. Through the collapsing plates, the bubble will collapse into a sheet and or a film, and the film will move over the roller, and this is called lay flat. That is, the product is called lay flat, and it will be rolled over the roller, and the final product will be made. So the final product in this case will also be a film only, but depending upon the specifications, depending upon the requirement, depending upon thickness that we want to make, the processes may be different. In the previous case, that is sheet or film extrusion process, we are using a flat die. Here we are using a circular die through which the plastic will come out, will form a bubble, the bubble will collapse, and then it will be taken to a roll where it will be rolled. Now let us try to understand this process, that is blown film extrusion. Slightly may be complicated as compared to the normal sheet and film extrusion process, but certainly used for specific applications. The die is like a vertical cylinder, as I have already told, with a circular profile. I have told it is circular die, and the plastic will be blown out with the help of pressurized air. The molten plastic is pulled upward up to 4 to 20 meters from the die by a pair of nip rollers. So this is from center, the air will be injected, and the nip rollers will pull this plastic up. If you see the previous diagram, these are the nip rollers. So the nip rollers will pull the plastic up. So the molten plastic is pulled upward from the die by the pair of nip rollers. The compressed air is used to inflate the tube around the die, so that you will see in the diagram or in the animation that how the process actually operates. In the center of the die there is an air inlet from which the compressed air can be forced into the center of the circular profile, and hence the tube creating a bubble. So the bubble will be created by the pressurized air that will pass through the center of the die, and then this bubble will collapse with the help of collapsing plates. The extruded circular cross section may be increased 2 to 3 times of the die diameter. The bubbles are collapsed with the help of a collapsing plate, which I have already explained. The nip rolls flatten the bubble into a double layer of film called the lay flat. I have already told the final product in case of this extrusion, blown film extrusion process, is called a lay flat. The lay flat can be spooled in the form of a roller cut into desired shape, that is, the final product is collected on the roller. Bottom side of the lay flat is sealed with application of heat and cut across further up to the opening. So we can make plastic bags also with this thing. Maybe from the bottom, when this bubble is moving up, the lower part we can seal with the help of a heat, any heating arrangement, and the top part can be cut. So we get a plastic bag based on this process, which is not possible in case of a flat or where the die is flat, or which is sheet or film extrusion process. So in blown film extrusion process we can make plastic bags, which is not possible in case of it is possible, but we need to apply another steps for making the plastic bags, because the output that we are getting in case of sheet or film extrusion process is a sheet of material. So that sheet, if we need to convert it into bag, we need to do additional process. We need to take 2 sheets, then join them together and then seal them from the edges, then only we can make a bag. But here, since the bubble is getting created, we can very easily make a plastic bag. So let us now try to understand this process with the help of a video. So this is the blown film process. Here you can see, here is the die arrangement through which the pressurized air is forcing and this bubble is getting created. So you can see this is the bubble and these are the collapsing plates. Through the collapsing plates, the bubble collapses into a form of a sheet, and this is a lay flat that is moving down and finally getting collected here in the form of the final product. So in this case, the bubble is created with the help of pressurized air and then it is collapsed, and after collapsing the lay flat is formed and we can make plastic bags using the blown film extrusion process. Let us now try to understand very quickly the other types of extrusion processes. In today's session we have already seen two types of extrusion processes or the variants of extrusion. The first one was the sheet extrusion or sheet or film extrusion. The second one was the blown film extrusion. The third one is the jacketing coating. So here you can see the normal extrusion process. This is a roll of wire on which we want to provide a coating of plastic material. The molten plastic, green color represents the molten plastic. So from both sides molten plastic is coming, the wire is moving through the center and finally we get a coated metallic wire. So we get this thing. So jacketing coating is used where the adhesion between the wire and the coating is not desired. So this wire may not be having a very good adhesion efficiency or may not be having a very good adhesion with the coated plastic, but yes, the plastic is providing a coating over the wire. Where this type of application is there, if you see wherever plastics are used, they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. So if we want a metallic wire to be insulated, we can use a plastic coating over this wire. So that is the process where jacketing coating will come into picture. Similarly, slightly modified version of jacketing coating is the pressure coating. An intimate contact or adhesion is required between the wire and the coating. Now in some specific application, if we require that the wire has to be coated by a plastic and there should be very strong bond between the wire and the plastic, in that case we may go for pressure coating technique, which is one variant of extrusion. So here the molten plastic again is coming through these two entrant points, then there is a roll of wire, but now the plastic and the wire are coming in contact at this point and from there both of them are moving together. So the contact is a longer contact between the plastic and the wire and therefore they form a bond also among themselves, and this bond then can be used for specific applications, that the wire is bonded or it is having a strong adhesion with the plastic. Another variant of extrusion process is the tubing extrusion. Hollow sections are usually extruded by placing a mandrel inside the die, similar to tube drawing process usually that is used for making the tubes, metallic tubes. So hollow sections are usually extruded similar for plastics by placing a mandrel inside the die. The molten plastic is extruded through a die and a hollow cross sections are formed like a tube. Tubing with multiple holes can also be made for specific applications by placing number of mandrels in the center of the die. So let us see with the help of a diagram. So for tubing extrusion, right now we don't have a diagram, but you can yourself imagine that there is a mandrel and through the mandrel there is a mandrel and the plastic is moving outside the mandrel, so there will be a hollow cross section that we are producing. The process is much similar as we use for making tubes of metals, tube drawing operation. Now coming on to co-extrusion process. In co-extrusion, as the name suggests, co and extrusion. In co-extrusion there are two types of plastics that we are using. This is adhesive polymer resin 1 and polymer resin 2. So we put both, there are two feeders, feeder 1 and feeder 2. So feeder 1 yellow color, it is pushing a yellow color adhesive. Feeder 2 is pushing a blue color adhesive. So deliberately the colors are different and you can see the final product, the winding on the final product on the roller. So the blue color is coated over the yellow color film, or yellow color is the adhesive and the basic polymer in this case is the blue color polymer. So this is a co-extrusion die through which both your adhesive polymer resin and the polymer resin are moving together. So co means it is combining. If we take the English word cooperate, cooperate means that we cooperate means two people help each other. So here also we have two different types of polymers, one is acting as a adhesive, another one is acting as a base. So the adhesive and the base are combined together, they cooperate with one another and make a third product which is wound over the roller and collected for further use. So let us just read 2 or 3 sentences related to co-extrusion process. Co-extrusion is the extrusion of making multiple layers of material simultaneously. If you see the diagram, there are 2 layers, one is a yellow layer, another one is a blue layer. So the same thing is explained in the next slide, that is co-extrusion is the extrusion process of making multiple layers of material simultaneously. It is used to apply one or more layers on top of the base material. So in our case, the base material can be the blue polymer and the coated material can be the yellow polymer to obtain specific properties. Now why do we need to have 2 layers? We can have a thicker single layer of plastic also, but why do we need to combine 2 different types of polymers together? They are combined together to achieve specific requirements, specific applications which are given here in green color. You can see, if we want to provide ultraviolet absorption, we want to provide grip, we want to provide matte finish or energy reflection, or there can be other specific requirements also. We want a specific color at the top and the base can be of a different color, so that can also be achieved using the co-extrusion process. Many times impact resistant and structural performance can also be improved by using the co-extrusion process. Now the base material can be good for impact resistant and structural performance, the top can be good for finish. Sometimes we require a specific color at the top, then also we can go for co-extrusion process. The top layer can be of that specific color, the bottom layer can be of any color, but it will add to the functionality by providing impact resistance or by providing some form of structural performance. So co-extrusion is an important process of extrusion in which we can have combination of properties by putting 2 types of polymers together. It may be used on any of the processes such as blown film, jacketing, tubing, sheet film extrusion. So maybe once our product is ready from all these processes, we can go for co-extrusion and we can coat it with some other layer of material that has to be a plastic layer only. So we can combine the 2 layers together and make our third product, and the first product can be made by any of these processes. For example, from sheet film extrusion, we first extrude a sheet and then that sheet we can coat with another layer of plastic using a co-extrusion process. 2 or more extruders are used to deliver the materials, as we have tried to understand with the help of a diagram. We have seen the diagram, a yellow color adhesive polymer is coming and a blue color polymer is coming, and in the co-extrusion die both are getting combined together. So 2 or more extruders are used to deliver materials which are combined into a single die that extrudes the material in the desired shape. So 2 different extruders will extrude the material and then in the co-extrusion die they will combine together and finally they will be pushed out and rolled over the final roller. The layer thickness is controlled by the speed and size of the individual extruders delivering the material. So one of the operating variables here can be the speed at which the 2 extruders are operating, so that the desired thickness of the final product can be achieved. Then we have a slightly different variant from co-extrusion process, that is extrusion coating, in which we can, this is the extruder here, so this is the curtain, this is a secondary unwind stand, this is a rewind stand, chill roll, nip roll, unwind stand. So you can have one extruder that is extruding the material from here, the another material is coming here, you can see, and the final product, the different colors are visible here. There is yellow color also, this is a polymer curtain, you can see this is coming from here, one unwind stand is here, secondary unwind stand is here. So 3 different layers can be made. So extrusion coating can be done very easily. 2 different unwind and rewind stands are there. In rewind stand it will collect the material, unwind stand it will deliver the material. So from one side you are delivering the material, other film is coming from the extruder. Here you can see this is the extruder, So two different types of sheets, polymer sheets are coming. One is from here, another is coming from the extruder, and both are getting collected, and the top is coming from the secondary wind stand is also coming. So all this is moving together and finally getting collected over the rewind stand. So coating is getting provided on your polymer curtain. So that is maybe another form of extrusion in which we are extruding the material from here, but then simultaneously it is getting coated also with the help of the unwind stands or the films coming from the unwind stands. Now extrusion coating, just whatever I have explained, we will try to understand it with the help of the diagram. Why we have done this? So that whatever we discuss with the diagram, we also read it along with certain points, so that the points become even more clearer and you are able to understand that what the process actually is. Now extrusion coating, it is used to make an additional layer onto the existing roll stock of paper, foil or film to improve the characteristics of paper by coating it with polyethylene to make it more water resistant. This is one example given, that you can sometimes you will see paper is coated with a thin film of plastic in order to make it water resistant, and that type of products can be made using the extrusion coating technique. The extruded layer can also be used as an adhesive to bring two other materials together. Sometimes we may deliver a adhesive coating on top of the paper also, like we use the envelopes for sending our letters. On one side we have a coating and then it is further covered by paper. So first we remove that paper, then we stick the thing and then we press it. Making those type of things can be done using extrusion coating. What is there? There is one paper, then there is a coating, and then there is another paper. So that type of products can be made by using the extrusion coating technique. The applications of extrusion coating are liquid packaging, photographic paper, envelopes, as I have already told, and medical packaging. So this type of technique, you have paper may be coming from one side, then the adhesive is coming from the other side, another paper is coming from other side, and all three are getting combined together and getting rolled over the final roller, and then they can be used for specific applications. Generally polyethylene, polypropylene plastics are used for extrusion coating. So specifically two polymers or two plastic types are mentioned here which are used for extrusion coating technique. Let us now see compound extrusion. Here there are single screw extruders, double screw or twin screw extruders which are used for the process of compound extrusion. Now compound extrusion is a process of mixing one or more plastic with an additive to give a plastic compound. Suppose we want to mix polyethylene and polypropylene. So we will take the pellets, individual pellets of polypropylene and polyethylene, and put them in a hopper in a twin screw extruder, and then we will extrude this through the die, and we will get a third product which will be a combination of the two types of polymers that we have used as a raw material. So this type of extrusion process is called compound extrusion. So compound extrusion is a process of mixing one or more plastic which are with an additive to give plastic compounds. The feeds may be pellets, as I have already told. We can take polyethylene, polypropylene pellets, we can mix them in the hopper, and then we can through the barrel we can pass them through the die, and we can extrude the final product which is a combination of the two. The raw material is in the pellet form to be used, and this can be used, whatever output that we are getting from twin screw extruder or through the compound extrusion process can be used as a raw material for other processes such as injection molding. So when we will study injection molding, we will see that many times in order to have a combination of properties, we will first mix two or three plastics together and then we will extrude them, pelletize them, make them into pellets, and those pellets we will then take and use in the injection molding as a raw material, so that we get our final product which has the desirable properties. So this process is a, we can say, prerequisite for injection molding process if we want to have specific properties for a particular product. Usually twin screw extruders are preferred because they give better mixing at lower melting temperatures. So as in the last class we have seen that if we have large or higher temperatures, it may degrade the properties of the polymer. So twin screw extruders have this advantage that they provide us better mixing of the polymers, better mixing of the plastics, but at lower temperatures. Otherwise, if we go for higher temperature, there are problems associated with the degradation of the material properties, which we need to avoid. Now this slide is generally a summary of the types of materials that are used for extrusion process. It is not specific to the last compound extrusion process only. These are general materials which are used for extrusion process. These are polyethylene, polypropylene, acrylic, nylon, polystyrene, PVC, acrylonitrile, butadiene, styrene, polycarbonate. So these are the standard polymers, plastics that are used for as a raw material in case of extrusion process to get the desired products. The products can be tubes, the products can be films, the products can be any form of continuous products that we can make. So majorly it is a large scale continuous process, and it is fully automatic process, and then we can use these raw materials to convert them into the desired products. We have seen different types of extrusion processes that we will summarize towards the end of our lecture. Now what are the applications? I was just telling you in the previous slide, what are the applications that these materials can be used for making different types of products. So here you can see you can make rods, plates, tubes, wire and cable coating, as we have seen jacketing extrusion, we have seen pressure extrusion. So there we can provide coating over a wire. Hose liners can be made, hose mandrels, filaments, sheets, multi-layer film, as we have seen different layers together as in case of envelopes, medical packaging, food packaging. So different types of products can be made using the extrusion process where the plastics are involved. Should I tell you that extrusion is also a process which is used by the same name in case of metals also, but the two processes are entirely different. For plastics, the control variables are different, the applications are different, the raw materials are different, and even the process mechanisms are different. So we can see that these are the major application areas of the extrusion process. Now what are the advantages and limitations? As by now you may, this is our second session on extrusion, you may have been able to appreciate that it is a continuous process, it is a large volume process, the relatively low cost as compared to the other molding processes. There is a design flexibility, you can change the design of the die and you can get a different product from the same machine. So therefore there is design flexibility, the lead times are short, coating on the wire can be done, and continuous part can also be produced. As I have already told, continuous parts can be produced. Similarly, but there are certain limitations also. Limited complexity of part. Usually you have seen that the continuous parts with uniform cross section can only be made. If there is large variations in the cross section, those type of parts cannot be made using the extrusion process. Similarly, uniform cross section can only be produced, that I have already explained. So with this we come to the end of today's session, that is extrusion 2. So on extrusion process we have already engaged 2 sessions. In the next class we will move to a new process which will be used for processing of polymers. Thank you.